On Sunday, something unfolded behind closed doors that's now erupting into full public view, dragging the army into a civilian crisis and dragging Angela Rayner into what may be the most humiliating moment of her political career. A city in chaos, a leadership in panic, and a decision so desperate it's raised serious questions about judgment, integrity, and loyalty. This isn't just about rubbish on the streets, it's about what's really rotting at the heart of Labour. The full story, it's more explosive than anyone expected. And it starts now, let's break it down. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Just a quick one to say we have new Labour t-shirts available on our website. You can check the link in the description or go to BritishStand.com. What do you do when your city is drowning in filth, your council can't get a grip, and your own party's deputy leader is neck deep in union money? Well, if you're Labour, you panic. And if you're Angela Rayner, you make a call that leaves the entire country, and much of the world, scratching their heads in disbelief. In a move that many are calling nothing short of desperate, Angela Rayner has invoked military aid to the civil authorities, or MACA powers, to enlist the British Army. Yes, the army to help clean up Birmingham's rubbish crisis. That's right, the same army that's supposed to defend the nation from threats foreign and domestic is now being brought in to deal with bin bags piling up on the streets of Britain's second largest city. This crisis didn't come out of nowhere. The bin strike in Birmingham has been ongoing since March 11th, sparked by a bitter dispute between refuse workers and the Labour-led council. More than 17,000 tonnes of waste now litters the streets. It's not just an eyesore, it's a public health emergency. Rayner, now acting as Deputy Prime Minister while Keir Starmer is away, has brought in a small number of military experts. Officially, they're being tasked with offering logistical support. That means they won't be out there picking up trash bags, but instead will be helping the council figure out how to dig itself out of a mess of its own making. According to Whitehall, these troops will be working in admin roles, coordinating operations and advising local authorities. But make no mistake, the symbolism here is damning. Even former Army Chief Lord Dannatt has weighed in, warning that calling in the military is not only inappropriate, it's expensive. As he bluntly put it, if saving life is not involved, the Ministry of Defence will charge, and we charge at full rates. Translation, this is not a favour. Taxpayers will foot the bill for Labour's failure to keep a city functioning. And the criticism doesn't stop there. Former Defence Secretary Grant Shapps didn't hold back, calling the entire situation a damning indictment of Labour's total failure to govern effectively in Birmingham. He pointed out the obvious. This isn't some natural disaster or sudden emergency. It's chronic mismanagement, a local council beholden to its union paymasters, too weak to enforce order, and too disorganised to negotiate a solution. Then there's Reform UK leader Nigel Farage, who cut to the chase. The rubbish needs clearing and the rats need killing. He's not wrong. This is a public health crisis, one that could have serious consequences in the upcoming local elections. The image of Labour resorting to military help because they can't sort out a bin strike, that's political gold for their opponents. Now here's where it gets even more scandalous. Rayner didn't just fail to stop the crisis. She may have had every reason not to stop it. You see, the union behind the strike action, that's Unite the Union. And guess who's been on the receiving end of donations from Unite? You guessed it, Angela Rayner. So now the question is being asked loud and clear in Westminster. Has Rayner's silence been bought? Critics argue that her financial ties to Unite have made her completely compromised. Instead of standing up to the union bosses and defending the public, she's allegedly chosen to keep her mouth shut, unwilling to criticize her paymasters even as the streets fill with rotting garbage. It's a grotesque image. Ordinary families in Birmingham suffering while politicians collect union checks. Rayner did eventually plead with striking bin workers to accept a partial deal, with a ballot scheduled for Monday. But by then, the damage was done, politically and publicly, and according to the MACA rules, military help should only be used as a last resort. So what does it say about Rayner's leadership that she was forced to turn to the army? This entire debacle is more than just a local issue. It's a glimpse into what Labour governance looks like when it's tangled in special interests and paralysed by political debt. Rayner had a chance to lead, to be decisive, to stand up to unions, to protect public services. Instead, she blinked, and then she panicked, and now she's humiliated. The story of Angela Rayner's Monday meltdown is about more than rubbish. It's about accountability. It's about whether the Labour Party, with its deep financial ties to unions like Unite, can ever truly serve the public without serving someone else first. As we head into a critical election year, voters should remember this moment. Not just the rats in the street, but the rot in the system that put them there. In other news, long-running concerns over a Chinese super embassy in the heart of London have been ratcheted up after it emerged that its plans contain blueprints for a secretive spy dungeon. Plans for the embassy, set to fill the site of the old Royal Mint on the edge of the capital's financial hub in the city, contain 2 suites of anonymous unlabeled basement rooms and a tunnel, with their exact purpose redacted for security reasons. The Mail reports that the embassy, often dubbed a massive spy hub by critics including Robert Jenrick, has become the source of a cabinet rift, with the 4 great offices of state split down the middle on what to do. Yvette Cooper's Home Office and David Lammy's Foreign Office are said to want to add China to the Foreign Influence Registration Scheme. First, a blacklist designed to monitor and combat covert foreign state activities. But Sir Keir Starmer's Number 10 and Rachel Reeves's Treasury have argued against doing so. The embassy had been blocked by the former Tory government in the past, while British intelligence services and the Metropolitan Police have both raised their own objections to its construction. But now, it could be just months away from a formal green lighting at the hands of Angela Rayner, who will make a final decision on the site soon. And despite a Foreign Office push to put China on the FIRS list, Rayner's calling in of the plans came at the behest of Lammy, according to The Telegraph. Shadow Housing Secretary Kevin Hollenrake has now written to the Prime Minister demanding answers. He said in a letter, Downing Street has been caught red-handed in an attempt to ram this mega embassy through the planning system. Labour have disregarded democratic concerns through a contempt for local democracy and by failing to defend free speech in Britain. It would be a barbarous irony that a site so close to the medieval Tower of London could become a modern-day dungeon under a Starmer government. Hollenrake also warned that secrecy about the dungeons in planning documents is striking, saying, "Why does the use of the basement rooms need to be redacted, given they are not in public sight and there is no public access?" This subterranean zone will undeniably be used for intelligence work by the Chinese Communist Party and its arm, the United Front Work Department, he added. But there is also a chilling prospect that it could be used for the abduction, intimidation, or torture of anti-Chinese dissidents living in the United Kingdom. Alan Mendoza, the executive director of the Henry Jackson Society think tank, told GB News a few weeks ago, "Who knows what could be in that embassy, listening posts and such like. But its location suggests its target might be commercial rather than political." His warnings came amid a spike in fears of China's influence over Britain, which the government moved to partially remedy on Saturday with the passing of a bill to rescue British steel from Chinese owners Jingye. And just days ago, a British MP who had spoken out against Beijing in the past was barred from entering Chinese-run Hong Kong. Responding to questions from the Tories about whether Number 10 had intervened in the local planning process at the behest of Beijing, a government spokesman said, "The public interest lies in favour of withholding the information you have requested." What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.